Well, welcome to Technology and Education Today. I'm Richard Smith.
And I'm Caroline Crawford, and we are coming to you from the University of Houston Clear Lake in Houston, Texas, USA.
And today we are discussing lecture capture systems, which are,
as it says, lecture capture. You're obtaining videos of the presentation made by the instructor, and if there is discussion going on within the classroom, that is being captured as well. And any type of slideshow or presentation, that is also being offered by the instructor.
Yes, and
you're gleaning what is happening in class and saving it as some type of digital product.
Yeah, and these these systems are generally purchased by a university or a college, and sometimes a high school or perhaps even a middle school, so that when they're in use, students can refer back to these videos for information they may have missed during the lesson, or if they are absent for a day, the students can review the video also at home and see the complete video, and in essence see the complete lesson.
So does this happen every single time a course is offered? The lecture capture software goes through the process?
Well, not every time. Well, you're right. Yes. It can be every time a course is offered, because every time a course is offered face-to-face, it's going to differ from the original time that it was used, and additional information may be brought in as the professor or teacher updates the course or makes it relevant to something that's happened recently. So in order to be most effective, the lecture capture system would be
new and relevant each semester, each time.
Each semester. And the other thing that's interesting is that this is not a system that the students implement. This is a school implemented.
School-based, yes.
System. So the school,
business-based, basically.
Yeah, the school or university pays for the system, puts the equipment in, and then records what the lecturer is saying during the lesson, along with any slides that the professor may put up, along with any written notes that the professor may use on what now is the latest version of the overhead projector.
Well, that begs the question, if you have several people instructing the same course, are all of these people captured? All of their presentations captured? And if so, is there a differentiation between the different instructors and the quality of the instructional process, and does that cause an issue with the instructors within that environment, and might that impact the student choices that are being made, whether to sit in an instructor's course versus reviewing all of the different instructors' information concerning that course in order to glean as much information as possible? Is it available to the student?
I don't know. I think that would vary from school to school, but I think you're exactly right. If the various lectures of the instructors were available, then the students could compare the type of lectures that were being done during the period that it takes place. You get into other issues, is that some instructors may be kind of nervous on camera and not come off too well, so that's an interfering thing. But
the copyright issues involved in that, if we are talking about capturing the lectures of all the different instructors from, let's say, one specific course, people who are paying tuition to sit in that course and the instructor who's being paid to teach that course, I understand why the university or school district or whomever would feel it could be appropriate to capture that lecture because they are being paid for that service. The instructor is being paid for that service. But people who are not signed up for that course, who have not paid tuition to sit in that course and support the tuition reimbursements and salary and such of that instructor, why would they be allowed to obtain access
to
that person's
that's the question.
product?
Are they allowed to? And I think in most cases that they wouldn't be allowed, because that is intellectual property of
whom?
Of whom, yes. Well, certainly the university would say that it's the university's or the high school's intellectual property.
Because the instructor is being paid by that.
Right. And the instructor would say that it's
my intellectual property.
His or her intellectual property. I know, as you've said many times with your courses, it's your intellectual property. But in either event...
More than happy to share on my terms.
Right. But in either event, I
Well, I
think
worked hard, by golly.
I think that when it's inside the institution, I don't think most professors would have a problem with that. It's when it's this course material, the lectures that the professor is delivering, it somehow finds its way to a third party system.
Do you think that's actually true, though? I mean, I know that you work very hard on your courses. I work very hard on my courses, and I'm of the opinion that I'm more than happy to share. However, my hard work is my hard work.
Well,
and someone else who might, for some crazy reason, choose not to work as hard as me, but they're obtaining the quality of instruction that my students are already paying for and are sitting in my class for, I would have a problem with that person taking advantage of my hard work for their own ends.
It has to be released by the university or the institution that's controlling, because they have that information on their own servers.
Well, the minute it's captured, who owns that copyright? One would suggest it is the university versus the instructor, but who owns that intellectual property?
But the question is then, whoever physically controls it possibly has the option of putting it someplace else. It could go onto YouTube. It could go on to an advertisement for the university.
Now it is totally beyond your control.
Right. So now you might appear in an advertisement for the university and not
without your consent.
Without your consent, and
no reimbursement.
You're not getting
I'll
reimbursed.
Just finish your statements. That's fine.
Are you sure you weren't brought up in New York City?
I'm so rude. Sorry.
So that's a question. What happens to the lecture captures after they've been collected?
But there's also the initial question. Does the instructor have the option to say, no, I do not want my information captured?
That would be
just
key.
like if someone came into class and said, you know, I really need to hear this over and over again. I'd like to record it.
Which happens all the time.
Yeah. And my response is usually, no, you're not welcome to record it.
Right. Because once you allow students to record your voice or come in with their own little capture system, whether they're doing it on their with a little video camera, or they're doing it as part of a program such as OneNote, which will record lectures and allow you to file those lectures. Once that student has it, there's no telling where it will go, because the students have less responsibility than the institutions. So that is a question that has to be answered by faculty, whether or not they want to allow students to record them, and they may not have thought of this, and then the students can possibly and will frequently upload these videos to YouTube. I mean, you have gone to YouTube many times. I've gone to YouTube, and I see lectures from all over the place that have been recorded.
Absolutely.
Along with...
Perhaps with the instructor's knowledge, perhaps not. Along
with performances of various artists are found on YouTube. And it's not...
Oh, you've been to concerts when they see the little smartphones with a video going, they just stop the concert. Shut it down, or we're done.
No, I've never seen that. See, you,
oh my goodness, I have.
Because you are the young one.
Oh, thank you for that. Aren't you sweet?
You know, as soon as Lawrence
the gray hair suggests otherwise, but no.
As soon as Lawrence Welk comes
Lawrence
on,
Welk.
that's it. I'm asleep, so I don't know. That's it. I wish it were in color too. But at any rate, these are some of the questions that if an institution offers to put you on lecture
or mandates
lecture capture, some of the questions that you as a faculty member should be asking. If students want to record you as you are teaching, these are some of the things that you might want to keep in mind, that you can wind up any place on the internet, on any video service. And it might not always be in the most flattering light, because when you're teaching a class, you're not always taking into consideration being videoed. And when you're teaching on video, you are performing.
Well, but at the same time, if you are the instructor of record, there is a professionalism that should be carried through. And if you're not acting in that manner, and someone videotapes you acting inappropriately or saying something crazy,
well, it's not
inappropriate.
It's not even that. It's not even that. People are unaware of what they are doing in face-to-face situations.
What do you imagine people are doing that they're not aware of?
Well,
of which they're not aware.
They're not aware because if you're being videotaped, if you're not video aware, let's say, you might be straightening your jacket every 20 seconds. You might be saying things like you get me again.
Well, with all due
and
respect,
again.
that should be brought to someone's attention if
Right,
they are
but
instructing.
But that's the type of thing that could wind up on YouTube someplace with people laughing their heads off. And I'm not saying it happens all the time. I'm just saying that these are things that, as an instructor, we need to take into consideration when you allow people to videotape you or audio tape you. And in any event, we have run out of time.
Really?
For this segment of technology and education today. I'm Richard Smith.
And I'm Caroline Crawford, coming to you from University of Houston Clear Lake in Houston, Texas, USA. Bye!
I always have to wait for her to do that.